I'd like to call to order this Town of Dayton Commission on Disability. It is December 5th and it is 5:01. We are at prime time. This is a Zoom meeting and it is being recorded. I want to now at this time do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let me just take a quick member introduction of who's here.
Kevin Smith, member.
Christina D'Oliveira, member.
Nicole Mello here. The first thing that we're going to touch on, new business. We're going to talk with, we have the chief here with us. Thank you for coming. We're going to talk about a handicap parking discussion. This had come up in one of our member reports. Kevin, do you want to lead the discussion?
Yeah, so as part of, well, I guess one to just start off is how much handicap parking enforcement do you guys see in the department? I guess would be like
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
One provision that we do have in our bylaw for the Commission on Disability is if there are funds, it's extremely difficult because we have a very small budget for us to do anything.
Right.
But we do have a provision that we could use handicap parking enforcement funds to kind of establish a revolving account.
Yep.
And then like if we have an agenda item tonight that's something like a repair that we want, that's $945. So if we had the funds from handicap parking enforcement, we could build that up, and then instead of, going to the town and
Right.
asking for funds, we could utilize those
I think that's a great idea.
to do it. I mean, I see enough of it, even just on town property that.
Yeah, and I mean, it does get enforced, there are tickets written, I know the money goes into the general fund, so that would be something maybe to, speak with the town clerk about, and get Serena on board and the attorney, and I guess, and they have to create that account for the
You probably have to go
account,
to town meeting.
yeah.
Yes, so I think we would have to, because we don't have, it is in our bylaw, but it's not, we haven't established a revolving account yet. Yeah, so we have to be like
Get the town
abundantly
council
clear.
involved, yeah,
Yeah.
so I know we had to do that for a couple, with the range account that we did, so that's self-sufficient, so it wasn't costing anything out of the budget, so we made that like range supplies. And I know that there was language that wanted to be changed on it, so we could purchase like other things from it. That would have to go to the annual town meeting in June, so that's something you definitely probably want to get on the agenda, but I definitely back that up, so it's a great idea.
Yeah, and I know we don't have an abundance of businesses in town, but
Absolutely.
there's enough on 138.
Absolutely, I mean, and if the tickets do get written, I mean, that'd be great, I mean, why not? I mean, it's gonna go to an account for a good cause.
Yeah, I think we'll just make our operational procedures a little bit, because we've been a little bit hesitant with what we can do, because it's just, it's no fun, there's no funding
Right,
for virtually anything,
so I
so.
think it's definitely a good idea.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if we do, try to provide a quarterly, annual town meeting before we can really put the wheels in motion on it. Maybe we can check with the town administrator and town council to see if it's something that we can expedite, but if not, we do have to go that route. Because even if we can establish an account and have it kind of just put aside and then go through like the fund, so we say we could implement this, January 1.
Yeah.
And then establish a separate account, so those funds are sitting there, and then create the revolving after, if it's possible.
I wrote quite a few of the handicap parking violations myself, being on the street, but I know that money went to the general fund, so, but this.
I think we'd probably need an endorsement from the department, saying that you're on.
I'm behind it 100%, yeah, absolutely.
Christina, did you have anything to add to that?
No, just like what would be the next step for us to do? Like, would we have to bring it to a town meeting? Like, do we have to vote on it?
I'll talk to Ralph, the town administrator, and see if he can give me a plan, and then I'll bring that back to our next meeting, and we'll go from there.
I guess maybe the only other question I would have is, we might have to probably introduce some, because I know like our signage on town hall, like on the town campus property, says handicap parking, but it doesn't say anything about a fine.
Does it need to say something about a fine, or is that just
So as long as it's posted on the top and on the ground.
that it's
As long
handicap
as it's
parking?
at the visible, at the view of the operator and on the ground. And
Alright, so it doesn't have to say
It
that
doesn't have to
it's a
say
fine.
fine, nope.
Do you know what the fine, is it $250? Is it $250? Is that kind of the norm?
I think it's 300. It was up there, it was like 150, I'll get you know tomorrow, I think it's between 150, it was changed, it was like really, really low, then they upped it, maybe it's 150. It's between 150 and 300, it's
Okay.
up there, it's definitely one of the higher ones on the ticket. It's been a few years now since I wrote one, since I've been off the road, but I'll pull a citation and I'll email you tomorrow, let you know what the fine is.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I think, just like any other, I don't know that we can say that it's a problem in town, like I said, I've witnessed it a couple times in town. And two, you can never make the assumption either, because like, we're not part of the police department, we don't know, somebody's registered with a disability that
Right.
they just don't have that plaque or no.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe that's what I'll play.
I've always approached the operator at the times I've written the tickets just to confirm. And a lot of times it's purely to just they don't wanna park across the parking lot, like the Dunkin' Donuts is 2 spots in front. And that's why I wrote a numerous amount of tickets, when I did write on the street, so. The Cairo copies are also sent to the clerk's office, so they really keep track of it that way too, so make sure that the money goes to you.
Yeah, cause I would just like, somebody, when we put up like the speed sign, when somebody says, oh, we're witnessing a ton of speeding on such and such a road, you put up the sign. So maybe you just kind of, ask the department to be more diligent
Yeah, absolutely.
and looking.
Absolutely, and then after this is created, get the town clerk on board with us, so that so they can keep track of the funds are going to the right account.
Do you have anything further from?
Uh-huh.
I had one other thing, the next item, Chief, as well as discuss with you, the next item is safety net. I don't know if you've ever heard of the safety net.
I have, the sheriff's office was doing the safety net stuff.
I don't know, I met some gentleman, I don't know who he's with, I took his card and I took this for you to have.
Okay.
I don't know if, I don't really understand the funding, if it's funded through the individual that wears it,
Okay.
or if there has to be some kind of, funding through the police department. I know that we've had a couple times that we've had, some kiddos, that have kind of wandered away that we've had to track down.
Yep.
Of course, it would have to be up to the parent
Yep.
and everything like that, but if they knew this was available and if it was at no cost, obviously, to the town,
Right,
then it would be
okay,
great to promote.
absolutely,
So I
absolutely.
talked to some guy, and he asked me to bring them
Yeah.
back to the chief in town. Christina, it's called Safety Net.
Oh, yeah. Know about it. Yeah. I mean, that would be something that might be able to go hand in hand with Patrolman Schwartz's program, the Emergency Services Altered Response Program.
That's what made me think about it. I saw his program and I was like, I wonder if, do you know anything about the funding in regards to the safety net?
I have one for one of my daughters, and it was funded through the Autism Waiver Program. They actually got it for me, but something like DDS might get it for somebody as well if they're registered with DDS.
Okay. So if she were to wander away and you had to use that, do you have to contact the police department or do you just use it as a
No,
parent?
you have to, actually, I filled out the Officer Schwartz's form a year and a half ago, and there was a question on it. Does your child have any kind of tracking device, and what's the frequency? So I believe that you contact the police department, especially if there is a program, something like that that Dayton has, and that you give, but I'm not sure. I haven't used it because I don't really like it, the way it's not really for somebody with sensory issues, it's not very friendly. It's kind of like a button, I don't know, like a button and then like a strap that you have to attach to it. So I don't know if they've changed it in recent years, but
I can see how that would not, somebody wouldn't like that, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, some people do use it, but I can't really use it because my girls won't wear something like that.
Maybe something that you could attach to like a belt loop or something though, just to
Yeah.
kind of, some type of
Yeah.
object, attach it to the clothing, pin it to a piece of clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, probably won't. Yeah, like you wouldn't wanna go to a backpack or something that's
Yeah,
falling
no.
off, but
But yeah, I'll definitely talk to,
Yeah, see, it's,
Officer Schwartz about this, see what his knowledge is on it, and maybe we can marry these two programs
Yeah.
together, absolutely. I know the sheriff's office was running some kind of safety net program a while back. I think Somerset was taking over, under Chief Costa, who just retired the program, so I'll find out from them too.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Nope.
Does anyone have any further discussion on, the safety net? Thank you for that extra information, Christina. Other than that, Chief, we'll let you go.
Okay, all right,
We won't
thank you.
keep you, but
Yeah, appreciate it.
thank you so much for coming, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, thanks so much. And if I don't see you more on hand, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you, bye-bye.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, we're doing great, it's only 5:12. All right, next is old business, member reports. Does somebody wanna go first?
I have nothing, so Christina, I don't know if you.
I mean, I don't have anything coming, obviously, like, we have, the CPAC has stuff in January, but not till like the second week of January. It's, we're doing a virtual workshop with the Federation of Children with Special Needs. It's like understanding the IEP, I believe.
I just had one thing, so I wanted to talk about possibly a while back, me and Kevin had started to go down the Best Buddies, route. And it wasn't so much of, like, at the time, we didn't wanna make it like I don't know if we didn't wanna make it a COD thing or we didn't wanna make it a coordinator thing. But either way, I'm looking to, even I'll just do it on my own if I have to, kind of bring back the Best Buddies, actually get it going. Especially now that we have Cindy, who couldn't be here tonight, but she's at co-op. And I've seen some other communities, Foxborough, they don't call it Best Buddies, but they do have events, and theirs is with Park and Recs that they do, things for folks. And then Middleborough, the Elks has, dances for adults. So it was just making me think, like, I really liked that idea, it just wasn't a great time for me in that time to get something like that going, so I really wanna try to start getting that going. I think that was just thinking it too much through, like,
I kinda echo that, I think it was like good intentions, bad timing for all of us. The one real difficult thing was finding individuals without IED to volunteer to be on the other side of things. One thing, and I mean, the Best Buddies program is incredible, especially at the school level, I think, because it's just, you have such a great pool of individuals to get involved. Once you hit adulthood, I don't think the Best Buddies program like is the best, like their rules that you need to follow and the way that they want you to go about it and create these one-on-one matchups is like, it's almost, it's difficult to navigate, so like I kinda like that, like kind of create our,
Yeah, maybe.
create our own program, like it can just, it doesn't need to say Best Buddies, it could be the Dighton Buddies, like it could, you know, whatever, it could be something
Work on the
totally
name.
different.
No.
That's like, you know, just loosely based
Yeah,
off of their program, but we can just do it independently, because
cause
I
I
think
like,
bringing that corporate aspect into it just makes it so hard.
yeah, and it was, yeah, I didn't like the having to pair people, like, I liked it as a more as a group events and, because when you start to pair people, I feel like it's like you're really pushing, you're getting away from the point of us all just being together, it seems like you're kind of pushing it.
Yeah, I was of that attitude too, is like if you have this group event and like individuals just kind of naturally gravitated towards each other, became better friends or closer friends, that's great, but we don't need to document it and track it, that
Yeah.
like, this is our, and I get why they do it, because they wanna hold you accountable, that you're gonna take the time, make your weekly phone call, do your monthly meetup or whatever, but I think, everybody's so busy now, and everybody's involved with so many things, that we can keep it a little more loose-based.
Yeah,
I do have the ability, because I do it for Parks and Rec though, and like if we could fire this up, is like I can run queries.
Oh, okay.
Because like that is important, you
Yeah.
don't wanna just let
I forgot about
anybody
that.
and everybody get involved, like so if we do it, we can, we can run query checks on people.
How does that get funded?
There's no charge.
Oh, there's no charge for recording.
No.
Oh.
There's certain level, like once you cross over certain levels,
Yeah, I think I'm
but-
thinking of there's like a sorry, isn't there, or am I just rhyming things?
maybe I think yeah, but there's no charge for running a query.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, because that would probably be the biggest, like, concern.
Yeah, we wanna make sure that we don't get people involved in it.
All right, I'll put that on if everyone's okay with that, I'll put that on the agenda, for next time, maybe, to build off of that.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that happen too. I think it would be.
I was gonna go to one of the dances in Middleborough, just so I could see what it was like. I don't know if that's weird, but
Well, I don't know, maybe whoever, or if you could have like somebody from one of those organizations
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
got
a
a
good idea.
established a successful program, join us, even if it's on Zoom, just to kind of give us
some guidance.
some guidance, because it's like it's tough, you don't wanna reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. All right, I'll do that. All right, do you have are you all set, Christina? Yeah, okay. We're going to PA coordinator report because he's not here tonight. Do you want to make a motion?
No, we just.
okay. So we're gonna go to discuss KMA report. Does anyone have anything about the KMA report? Because I literally-
It never seems to.
I don't.
I don't have anything on it, it's still, like, unfortunately, it's like my back burner item that I can't see.
Yeah, well, at least, since we have nothing on the KMA report, at least we have an update on the Lower Town Hall threshold request, which is part of that report. I sent out the paperwork on that the last time we were gonna have a meeting, I forgot to resend it out this time. But Jim did get a quote, it was $945 for that to be completed. Kevin, you wanted to add something in regards to.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd like to see, if you could provide some correspondence with Jim, so when he speaks to the contractor, is just that the scope of work should reflect that it's removing the existing threshold and installing a ADA compliant threshold, because so just so you know, Christina, the way it reads is that they're gonna remove the existing threshold and weather stripping, furnish and install a 6-inch threshold and brush weather stripping at the rear entrance and adjust and align doors. I just wanna make sure that it doesn't, because the one that's there is kind of worn out anyway, there's some other issues with, the weather stripping and such. I wanna make sure that it's actually the right product going in and they don't just replace it with what's already there, because that is too high for ADA compliance.
Yeah, that's no problem. I'm gonna send that email to you first and then just give me the okay on the language and then I'll send it to Jim. And then from there, after sending it to Jim, what do we want to be our next steps? Do we want to send a request to the town administrator that the COG is requesting that the threshold?
Yeah, I think we could send and I don't mind, I can draft a letter, maybe we'll send a letter of recommendation
Okay,
I think it would have to go to probably the town administrator and maybe the selectman.
yeah, just throw them on there.
But-
That sounds
So
good.
probably, yeah.
Any further discussion on that?
Yeah, I think just if I draft that for the next meeting, I think we'll have to vote to approve that letter.
Okay, yeah.
And that will be the next step.
We have a review and approve of minutes from 10/3, wait, Yes, 10/3/2024. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 13th.
I second.
Any discussion and a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
And then public input, but I don't think we have any public. Here,
Motion to adjourn?
in a
I
second.
second. I second.
No discussion and vote?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.